The St. James Hotel in Cimarron, New Mexico is a historic landmark with a storied past linked to the Wild West. Built in 1872 by Henry Lambert, a French chef who once cooked for Abraham Lincoln, the hotel quickly became a popular stop for travelers, outlaws, and famous figures of the time. The numerous bullet holes in the main dining room, formerly the saloon, bear witness to Cimarron's wilder days. In 1871, when Henry Lambert acquired the original building, it was only a saloon, gambling rooms, and a dining room. There were also 2 private gambling rooms on the south side. There were no hotel rooms at first. It is believed that a few sleeping rooms were added to the saloon building on the east side over time. However, the original sleeping rooms used by the Lambert Inn were not in the saloon building at all, but across the street in the west building of the old Lucian Maxwell House. Maxwell owned over 1 million acres and later sold his kingdom to a foreign investment company in 1870 and left the area to live at Fort Sumner, New Mexico. This foreign investment company would become the Maxwell Land Grant and Railway Company. The west building of the Maxwell House, which Henry and his wife Molly were renting from the Grant Company, were a suite of rooms that were the old servant quarters for the Maxwell House. These were used either as the main sleeping rooms for the Lambert Inn or as an overflow. Remember, at this time the Santa Fe Trail was in full swing and ran right between the old Maxwell House and Lambert's Saloon. My guess is business was very good. The rest of the building and the east wing was added in the 1880 to 1882 remodel. The kitchen and dining areas have been added over the years. The St. James Hotel was purchased in 1934 by Will Hagler. The first thing Hagler did was remodel the hotel and changed the name to the Don Diego. He then traded the small hotel safe for the large one seen here. During the Great Depression of the 1930s, the village of Cimarron did not have a bank. Word spread fast. Local folks began bringing their currency, silver, gold, and other valuables for safekeeping. Hager started making loans to individuals in need. No one signed anything. A verbal promise to repay the loan and a handshake was all a person needed. Today, it is hard to believe that, without a state banking charter, no formal record keeping, or the Federal Reserve or U.S. Treasury, that Will Hagler's safe became the most solvent bank in the United States. The hotel's history is deeply intertwined with the rough-and-tumble atmosphere of the American frontier, and it was a favorite haunt of many notable Wild West personalities. Major Lilly, otherwise known as Pawnee Bill, was here with Buffalo Bill Cody in 1888 when they combined their shows to form Buffalo Bill's Wild West and Pawnee Bill's Far East. Buffalo Bill's Wild West was one of the most successful American variety shows of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The touring production was created by William Frederick Buffalo Bill Cody, who lived from 1846 to 1917. He promoted his ventures with the help of posters, billboards, and other media innovations of the time. Cody was born in LeClaire, Iowa Territory, and lived in Canada before moving with his family to the Kansas Territory. His father was an outspoken opponent of slavery who died following a bloody attack by pro-slavery settlers when Cody was 11 years old. Forced to go to work to support his mother and siblings, he went on to become a buffalo hunter, guide, and civilian scout, and soon gained a reputation as a daring frontiersman and Indian fighter. Nicknamed Buffalo Bill, Cody polished that reputation recounting campfire tales that mingled fact, exaggeration, and outright fiction. His growing fame inspired a series of dime novels and helped launch Cody on a traveling stage career as the star of frontier melodramas. He had a natural gift for showmanship, a knack for homespun humor, and a Western hero's rugged good looks. He was often photographed holding a rifle and dressed in a buckskin suit with a wide-brimmed hat and shoulder-length hair. Hoping to expand his appeal to attract more middle-class family audiences, Cody launched his Buffalo Bill's Wild West in 1883. The outdoor variety show featured vignettes from frontier history, sharpshooting demonstrations, riding stunts, and with Buffalo Bill in a starring role as the expert marksman on horseback. He rounded out the cast with an ever-widening and more diverse group of performers, including Lakota Sioux Indians, frontier cowboys, Mexican vaqueros, and Argentine gauchos. He added a female performer in 1885, that was sharpshooter Annie Oakley, who was so skilled with a gun that she could shoot a dime from between her husband's thumb and forefinger. After the show expanded to become Buffalo Bill's Wild West and Congress of Rough Riders in 1893, it also featured European cavalry, Cossacks, and Arab horsemen. The Wild West show toured throughout the United States and Europe. Its success was fueled by popular nostalgia for America's fading frontier. The show also flourished as America modernized, relying on train travel and new technologies like electric lighting to reach and entertain audiences. Cody inspired a host of imitators whose productions were often referred to simply as Buffalo Bill shows. By the early 20th century, Buffalo Bill's heroic image had been tarnished by a scandalous divorce trial, and his show faced growing competition from the fledgling film industry. In 1909, he merged with a former rival, Gordon William Lilly, to create Buffalo Bill's Wild West and Pawnee Bill's Great Far East. The Great Far East show was an ensemble group founded by Gordon Lilly, nicknamed Pawnee Bill. Born in Illinois, Lilly had worked for the Pawnee Indian Agency and also served as a Pawnee interpreter for Buffalo Bill's Wild West. The combined production, sometimes called the Two Bills Show, featured traditional frontier acts with more exotic attractions like elephants, camels, and belly dancers. Mounting debt and a series of bad investments eventually forced Buffalo Bill to declare bankruptcy and shut down the show in 1915. When he died in 1917 in Denver, Colorado, his passing was noted by prominent figures ranging from European royalty to President Woodrow Wilson. The St. James Hotel honors its illustrious past by naming many of its rooms after the famous guests who stayed there. Here are some of the notable figures. Wade Phillips was an American petroleum businessman and philanthropist with headquarters in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He also engaged in banking and ranching. Phillips gave 127,000 acres of his favorite ranch in New Mexico to the Boy Scouts of America. The ranch is now Philmont Scout Ranch, and it's one of the largest youth camps in the world. The infamous outlaw and leader of the James Younger gang, Jesse James, is said to have stayed at the hotel. The room named after him is one of the most famous, with the tales of his ghosts still haunting the premises. Wyatt Earp is the legendary lawman and gambler known for his role in the gunfight at the OK Corral. He also stayed at the St. James Hotel. His room commemorates his legacy in the Old West. Buffalo Bill Cody was a famous American scout, bison hunter, and showman, and he was another guest. The room bearing his name honors his contributions to the mythos of the American West. The sharpshooter and exhibition shooter Annie Oakley, who was part of Buffalo Bill's Wild West show, also stayed at the hotel. Her room celebrates her exceptional marksmanship and fame. Doc Holliday was another legendary figure. He was a gambler, gunfighter, and dentist, and is associated with the St. James Hotel. His room reflects his notorious reputation. Clay Allison was a famous gunfighter and rancher known for his violent temper. Clay's room adds to the hotel's reputation as a place where the Wild West came to life. Though, more myth than fact, it's rumored that descendants of Davy Crockett, the famous frontiersman, also stayed at the hotel. A couple of other additional noteworthy guests were Pat Garrett, the sheriff famous for killing Billy the Kid, as well as Bat Masterson, the famous lawman and gunfighter. The St. James Hotel is also known for its ghostly inhabitants. It's said that the spirits of some of these famous guests, as well as others who met untimely deaths within its walls, still linger in the hotel. The hotel has embraced its haunted reputation, and many guests visit specifically for its ghostly tales and eerie atmosphere. The hotel has been restored and is still in operation today, allowing visitors to step back in time and experience a piece of the Wild West history. The St. James Hotel in Cimarron, New Mexico is said to be one of the most haunted and historically rich establishments in the American West. The hotel's history is steeped in tales of violence, death, and lingering spirits. From the outside, the St. James Hotel appears as a charming relic of the Old West, with its wooden balconies and period furnishings. But inside, the walls have witnessed some of the most notorious figures of the time. In those days, Cimarron was a lawless town, and the hotel bar was a hot spot for gamblers, outlaws, and gunslingers. It's no surprise that with such a mix of dangerous characters, violence often erupted within the hotel's confines. The most famous ghost story associated with the St. James is that of room 18, where it's said that the spirit of Thomas James Wright, a gambler, still lingers. Wright won a significant amount of money in a poker game in the hotel's bar. As the story goes, he was ambushed and shot in the back before he could make it to his room. He managed to drag himself to room 18, where he bled to death. Since then, strange occurrences have been reported in that room. Objects moving on their own, the feeling of an unseen presence, and even the door being found locked from the inside when no one was there. The hotel owners keep room 18 permanently closed out of respect, or fear, of Wright's restless spirit. But Wright isn't the only ghost said to haunt the St. James. Some guests have reported seeing the apparition of a young woman in a long white dress, believed to be Mary Lambert, who is the wife of Henry Lambert. She's often seen near the stairs or in the kitchen, where she spent much of her time when she was alive. Some believe she is watching over the hotel, ensuring it remains true to its historic roots. Other ghostly figures include a cowboy dressed in black, seen pacing the halls, and the sounds of laughter and footsteps echoing through the empty rooms. The hotel's second floor, in particular, is known for its eerie activity, with cold spots and the smell of gunpowder sometimes lingering in the air, a reminder of the many gunfights that took place within its walls. One of the more chilling aspects of the St. James is the bullet holes that remain in the ceiling of the bar. Over 20 bullet holes are visible still today, which is a testament to the many gunfights that erupted in this once violent place. It's said that the spirits of those who died in these shootouts are still attached to the hotel, unable or unwilling to leave the site of their demise. Guests and staff alike have reported feeling a heavy, oppressive atmosphere in certain parts of the hotel, as if the past refuses to let go. Those sensitive to the paranormal often describe the hotel as a portal to the past, where the boundary between the living and the dead is unusually thin. Despite its haunted reputation, the St. James Hotel continues to operate, welcoming guests who are curious about its ghostly history or simply looking to experience a piece of the Old West. For some, the allure is the chance to stay in a place where history is palpable and where the spirits of the past might just reach out to them. The haunted tales of the St. James Hotel are not just stories. They're part of the building's essence. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, there's no denying the eerie feeling that comes with walking through its halls, knowing that you are not alone. The past is alive in the St. James, and those who enter its doors are stepping into a world where history and the supernatural coexist in a delicate, haunting balance. You should smell this in here. It's incredible. Lavender. Lots of lavender. It smells wonderful. Cool beans, huh?